Welcome TechBrothersIT. In this video, we are going to learn how to use Fabric user data function in a Fabric data pipeline to get the latest sale date from a Lakehouse file. So what exactly is a user data function? User data function is a platform in Microsoft Fabric that let you write, host, and reuse custom Python functions across Fabric workloads, like such as we will be using the notebook or data pipelines or Power BI or external application via REST API. It is not just a function, it's a micro app. So it allows you to write Python 3.11.9 logic and it's keep going to be updated with the Python version. Use PyPL packages like Panda, NumPy request. And then you have access Lakehouse, Warehouse, SQL DBs via Fabric connections. So you can pretty much make connection to these different items and then use them. Build custom business logic, processing, or lightweight services. So this is a really helpful. Think about that. I have a file sitting in the Lakehouse and I need to get the last sale date from that file before I make a decision if I have to load that file or not. Now let's take a look on the key capabilities. Reusable Python code, define logic once, call from pipeline, notebooks, Power BI. So this is very helpful. You write the code and you can reuse it whenever needed. Access Fabric data, use a built-in connection to Lakehouse, Warehouse, SQL DB. And then you have REST API support exposed as REST endpoint for the external apps. Use external libraries, support pip install from the public PyPL or Pandas and all those kind of things. Code via portal or Visual Studio Code. So you can write code right there, or you can take a look and use the Visual Studio Code extension. Now, why use a Fabric user data function? Reusability, encapsulation, customization, and integration. Big words, but you can see the use case for all of these different scenarios. Let's go ahead and jump into this in a real demo and we will take from there. I'm going to make a separate tutorial on the user defined data functions later on in this tutorials, and there we will deal with a lot of other scenarios, but here in this video the goal is to have a user data function and then use in the pipeline. In this case, if you go to my, let's say you go to workspace here, and in the workspace, if you go to the Lakehouse, I have Lakehouse called the Tech Brothers. In this Lakehouse, I have many folders, and one of the folders is called the input folder. And my goal is to load this file, sales data NA file. This file is written every day, and think about that there is a sale date. Now I have only 5 records, and when I load these 5 records to the table, my goal is I want to check before I load the next file another day if maybe I would not get the new file, and I will just read this latest date, and then I just ignore that. I would not load the file to the table. So it will help me to save some time, and also it will save me to load the duplicate data and then verify from the warehouse. I can use that by using the function. So I always get the latest date from this file and compare with some table and then see if I will like to load the file or I don't want to load the file. So that's great. Now what we are going to do here, we are going to go to workspace again, and here is one of the folder I have created called the user functions. If you ask me why I create all these folders, because I want to manage all the items according to their types, and it is very helpful because if I want to take a look on the notebooks, I can simply go to notebooks and take a look on those. Here is user functions, and I'm going to go there, new item, and then I'm going to the search, and here I will search a function. You can see that the user data function available right there, and then it's asking me provide the name. I'm going to call this one my pipeline demo function. So that's what I'm going to name that, and once I create that, then we will be writing code. So here is the new function tab. You can go ahead and click right there. So if you see right there, there is already function called the hello fabric. You can go ahead and execute by hitting this sign here, and now if I will write some text here, it's in a name. So I will say my name is Amir and I'm gonna provide my name. I can just execute that and it's going to run this function. The function is in progress right now, and soon we will have some output. And here you go. Welcome to Fabric function Amir Shahzad at the time. So that's what it is returning. Now my goal is not to just say hello to the Fabric functions, but my goal is to read the data from the file. And my files are sitting into the Lakehouse. We know that. So I'm going to go to the connections here, and right here go to manage connections, and here I will add a connection. So if you notice that it is showing us the lake houses and warehouses and all that. You can always go to the my data, and then it will show you more filtered information, or you can go to all and then you can see from there. Here is the TechBrother Lakehouse that I would like to select, and it's going to create that connection for me. I can click right here, and then maybe I would like to provide or maybe rename, so I can do that in case if I want to do that. Now I'm fine here, and what I want to do also, I want to go to the library management, and here if you need to add some library, you can do that. Let's say we want to add pandas, and here you want to select the version. You can go ahead and select the latest version, and then hit on this white space, and it's going to be saved. See, this one is published, this one is saved, so we have to publish it later. Now I'm going to just close this, and once I close that, you see right there we have everything good now. And what I want to do, I want to add another function. So let me do one thing. So here I can go to edit here and insert a sample. So there are many type of samples available. You can see that warehouse, you can have a lake house, you have SQL database, data manipulation, and use UDF data types. I'm interested in the lake house right now, and I'm going to read the CSV file from the lake house. So we can just select that, and right here, that's the function starting from here. So now what we have here, it is asking us give the name of your Lakehouse alias. Remember that we were creating that in the connections. So if I go to manage connections here, and that's the name or alias I have to provide, I can copy it right there and close this one, and then I'm going to just delete this part and paste it there. So let's see if I can make it a little bigger. No. Okay, maybe right here. Yeah. Okay, that's much better. So I have provided the alias here, and now what's going to happen, I'm going to publish this. Once I publish this, then I can go ahead and execute this function. Now you can see that there are two functions. One is called Hello Fabric, and the other one is read CSV from Lakehouse. That's great. And meanwhile, this function is publishing. What I want to do, I want to go to the sales workspace, and gonna go to the pipelines here, and I want to create a new pipeline. So let me create a new data pipeline, and call this one 0001, and then call the PL function. Okay, great. So now our pipeline is also in process of being created. So let me click on the pipeline activity here, and then scroll down all the way, and here I'm going to see functions. Now here's my function activity, and I'm going to scroll up a little bit and see the settings. You can check these different settings such as name and description and timeout. I'm going to leave everything as is. Go to settings here, and here is our connection for the functions. Meanwhile, I was doing this. You can see that published successfully. So we can go back to our functions here, and we can see that it is published successfully. Now I can execute this function from here, and let's go ahead and try to execute from here, and then it will help us to see if it is running fine or not. So you see right here it says CSV file name, and you have to provide that. So I'm going to go to the Lakehouse here, and I'm going to just copy this and then provide that. Copy and cancel, and now we will go to the functions here, and here I'm going to paste that. Now what's going to happen, this file, this function is going to read the entire file, and here is the output file. CSV file read successfully, and you can see right there, this is inside this entire array. So you can see that all the records are read here, and here are the logs you can see there. Also, you can click right here and see view historical logs if you are interested in there, and it will show you all the information of different executions. I'm gonna just leave this as is, and just leave this for now, and we can just close and come back to our pipeline. Here is my pipeline, and in the pipeline you see that it is asking me make my connection. So I'm going to go ahead and create a connection and hit new or more, and then it's going to ask me, hey, user defined functions, yes, and then I already created the connection. I'm going to create a new connection. So now it's asking me, hey, sign in with your username. So I'm going to sign in, and here I will be using my username. So I will use that, and once it's signed in, it's going to create that connection. After making the connection, I can see that my workspace, sales workspace right there, and then I can go to user data functions. Here you have two tabs, Fabric user data functions or Azure function. I'm not using Azure function here, but if you are interested, you can create the functions in Azure and use it here as well. Now we go to the user data functions here and then select our function. So my pipeline demo function, and inside that we have multiple functions. So I'm gonna make this a little bigger, and you can see that we have hello fabric, and we also have a read CSV from a Lakehouse. Now we are all good here, and it is asking us to give us the file name as a parameter. So I'm gonna go back here, and if you remember, this is the file name we would like to give. So I'm gonna just copy the file name and come back to my pipeline and give that right here. So till now you are going to ask me this question. Now you are showing us all that information, how to read the entire file, but where exactly is the function to read the max sale data? So let it complete, and then I'm going to add another function to the our functions, and then we will use that. Have some patience. Okay, our function is completed successfully. I'm going to go to the input, and it's going to show us hey, what function we used, and that was the function name, and what parameter we used for that function, and then we have a function set ID, and then workspace ID and all that. So let's close that, and let's take a look on the output. So if you see right there, there is CSV file read, and these are the records you can see right there. So that's good. Now we know that the function works just fine. I'm going to go back to my functions here and make some changes. Now I have already written the code. I'm going to just copy paste, and that's going to help us to write our function. And I'm going to go all the way down here, and this new function is going to be I'm going to read the file, but I will be reading the max date from there. So this is a new function here. Okay, right there. So this is starting, and I'm calling this function as the get latest sale data, and you can see right there I'm using the same connection there, and then once it read the file, I'm asking it, hey, read the max sale data, and then return me this say latest sale date in a CSV file is, and then provide me the value in this format. So I will provide you the code. You can always use it, and that's not a difficult task here. You know, that's very easy. You see right here. So you have this data frame and the sale data. You read this all the file here. Then you have latest date saved in this variable and df sale date dot max value. So this is how you got the max value, and then finally you close those connections and everything. All good here. Let's publish it again, and now we go to the right here. Let me actually edit. So as of now it's not giving me the edit. Even I am here in edit, and somehow it's not giving me this when I have typed this value here, and somehow it's it should give me the publish, but it's not. So I'm going to say testing. Okay, so I have typed this, but still let me see, your function has been published successfully, please refresh. Okay, refresh, and now it's good. Okay, so after refresh, now I can go ahead and add this. Okay, fine. It actually once I refresh, it was able to give me that, so that's fine. So in case you are stuck here and publish is not there, just refresh. Okay, so let's publish this, and now we are adding a new function here called get the latest data. So it's publishing, and you can see right there, so get the latest sale data, and that's what we are interested in, and that's right there. So this function is right here, starting from here, and then reading the file and getting the max date from there, so sale data. So once it's published, we are going to go back to our pipeline. We can test it here as well, then we will go to the pipeline. Okay, our function is published successfully, and I'm going to go ahead and give a try here to run, and now it is asking me the file name. So I'm going to give the file name. Let me paste right there, and oh no, I have pasted, actually I have pasted the entire function here. So let me go back here and get the file name. So in this case I'm going to rename, just copy this file name, and then go back to my function, and here is my function. So now if I execute, it's going to read the file and give me the latest data. If you see right here, I have 501, 502, 503, and this is the data I'm expecting to be returned from the function. So let's go back here, and wow, so it is telling us, hey, you read this file, and then the value is this for the max sale data. That's great. We want to go back to our pipeline now, and in the pipeline we are going to make some changes and use that function. Now here I'm going to go ahead and maybe let me create a variable here, and then I'm going to go ahead and variable, and here I will say latest data. Okay, so this can be string here, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change the function name here, and that's going to be, let's refresh, and we get say get latest data. Now it's going to return us the get latest date from this file, and then after we get this result, so we would like to save into some variable. So let's execute first, and then I will use the set variable. So here is the function executed complete, and now what we would like to do, we would like to save the value of output to the variable. So I'm going to go ahead and create a variable here, and I'm going to call this one date or latest data, data, and this is going to be string type. What is the next, we're going to get the activity, call the set variable here, and then we will let me find the set variable here. Okay, great. And then I'm going to connect my function output to this set variable. Go to settings here and pipeline variable, and select the latest date variable, and here I'm going to write those dynamic expressions, and you see that I'm using sub string here. Then in the activity we are taking the output dot output, so that's going to return us the output, and then it's going to add the last index of activity. Then we got that one, and we're looking for this colon, and then we have on the number 2, and then all those expressions, and you can just copy paste these expressions, and what it's going to do is going to get that last date part 2 from our file name and everything. So if we hit OK here, and this is the output if I would like to show you, and that's the output, and from here we are ignoring all that part, and starting from right here we are trying to get this information. That's our data. That's that is what our expression is doing. Now we are all good, and if I go ahead and execute now, and execute, save and run. So here you have our output, and then you can see the output. We have latest sale date in this file name, and then we have this data, and if I go back to here, as an input we have this right there. So you can see this is the set variable value we have. So you can now use this variable name, latest date, and this is the value for anything. Maybe you just want to use copy activity, or maybe just filter the records and just load those records accordingly. So I thank you very much. I hope you learn something out of it, how to create the user data function in Fabric and then use in the pipelines. I will put the code in the description so you can use it from there.